Hey guys, welcome back to my channel once again. Ken Roy here. Now if this is your first time joining me on my channel, first of all let me start by saying welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by and for viewing this video. Now if you do like the content that I'm currently providing, which is on property investing, personal finance, as well as some DIY projects, please hit that subscribe button. Now if you're someone that's looking to go into property investing and you're curious about what other options are out there for you to invest in when it comes to property, this video is definitely for you. Now in today's video guys, I'll be discussing what a HMO is. Also, I hope that by the end of this video, you'll be able to decide on whether or not a HMO is a viable option when it comes to investing in property. Now because this is such a huge topic, I won't be able to get through everything in one video, so I will be making a part 2 at some point, so look out for that in the near future. Now stick around till the end guys, because I will be revealing whether or not I personally think that HMOs are a good way to invest, and whether or not this is something that I'll be considering in the future. Now without any further ado guys, let's get into the video. Now guys, let me just be open and as transparent as possible. I am not a financial advisor, nor am I a professional, so I would highly recommend that if you're considering this point of investing in property through HMOs, that you seek professional help such as an accountant or a mortgage advisor before committing to anything. Now while the information that I am providing might be excellent guys, it's important for you to realize that these are my own personal opinions as well as information that is readily available out there that I personally have researched, plus information and knowledge that I've learned from others. So please, you need to do your own due diligence, make sure you crunch the numbers first before committing to anything. So I thought I'd just get that out there before we go any further. Now that that's out the way guys, the first question we're going to answer is, what is a HMO? Now HMO simply stands for House of Multiple Occupants, and all that really means is that rather than renting out your property in the traditional sense where you'd have one family or one person living in a property, say a 2 or 3 bedroom house, a HMO seeks to divide that property up into several different accommodations. So for example, say you have a traditional 3 bedroom house. Rather than renting that property out to just one individual, you would seek to divide that property into 4 or potentially 5 bedrooms. You then seek to rent that property out to 5 separate individuals in order to make a higher return on investment for that property. So typically a HMO can be more efficient, which is why so many investors are so attracted to HMOs. So it's always important to do your own due diligence and your research, crunch those numbers to see whether or not the return on investment will be something that is satisfactory before going into doing a HMO as an investment. So now that we know what a HMO is, the next question is, why should someone invest in a HMO? Now as I alluded to a bit earlier on, a HMO is a more efficient way to maximize the amount of profit you can actually make on a property. So that's the first thing why it's so attractive for people to invest in HMOs. The simple fact is guys, that with a HMO, because it's so much more efficient, because you're using so much more space within that property and having multiple occupants in there, you can actually charge a lot higher. Now the reality is that guys, because a HMO provides so much flexibility with your tenants, that comes at a premium. So a lot of tenants might not be able to afford a 2 or 3 bedroom house by themselves. This simply means that a HMO is something that is very desirable in many areas. So the tenant will actually benefit because renting a room instead of a whole house is more affordable for them. So that flexibility is something that is very desirable. But on the flip side, for you as a landlord, you will then be able to charge a premium for offering this service. So this basically means it's a win-win, and this is why HMOs can be so beneficial for both parties. The simple fact is guys, that HMOs offer a much bigger yield because of the premium that is placed on them. The flexibility that it offers generates a lot of interest from prospective renters and tenants. Now guys, let's zoom in and look at some of the benefits if you were to go down the route of investing in a HMO as opposed to just single let properties. Now this one, many people seem to think it's a downside. However, when managed correctly, having a house with multiple occupants can actually be a fantastic thing. And here's why. Let's say for example you've got a 5-bedroom HMO that you've rented out, and for whatever reason one of your tenants decides to move out, and there's now a void period of say 1 or 2 months before you can get somebody back in there. When you consider that you still have 4 rooms that are viable and rents are still coming in for, all of a sudden it doesn't seem as bad. Versus if you were to have a single let property, if that tenant decides to move out for the entire period of time, whether it's 1 month, 2 months, however long, you won't be collecting rent. So this is one of the reasons why HMOs are so appealing to you as an individual who are thinking about investing in HMOs. Now another great one, guys, which obviously you need to speak with your accountant about, is the fact that with HMOs there's a lot more that you can actually use as tax deductible expenditures each month or for the entire tax year. So this is something that is very appealing to most investors, so definitely check that one out. Speak with your tax advisor, guys, to find out what is actually tax deductible, because this will obviously benefit your business in the long run. Now like I said before, guys, I would share on whether or not I personally would invest in a HMO, and I can say with a resounding definitely that if a HMO project actually came on the table right now, I would grab it with both hands. But only if, and this is a big but, only if the numbers stack up. And this is why I always encourage everyone to make sure that you do the numbers and make sure that this is a smart investment that is worth you investing in. So if there was a deal to come on the table right now and it all added up, I would definitely be interested in actually going with a HMO. Now single let properties are normally the bread and butter. However, if you can actually get your hands on some HMOs, like I said before, the returns and the cash flow that it will bring is second to none. So I definitely would be interested in a HMO if one was to come on the table. Now guys, let me let you in on a little secret. This past week I've actually been discussing the potential for a joint venture with a joint venture partner in investing in a HMO. Now it's still early days, and I just want to crunch the numbers and to see whether or not this deal could actually stack up, and if it does, of course I'll be bringing that information to you. So watch this space. Now if you're still watching this video up until this point, I want to thank you so much for all your support. I really appreciate it. Now like I said before, I'll be trying to do an upcoming video which will be a part 2 to this video, which will be looking at some of the pitfalls to HMOs. Now it's all well and good to look at all of the positives, however I do think it's important to also look at some of the pitfalls that might be ahead if you don't invest correctly. If you would like to see this, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share this video, as well as not forgetting to click that little bell notification icon so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you'll be the first to know. As always, you guys have been terrific. Thank you so much for watching today. This is Kenroy saying, I'll see you when you see me. Take care, guys.